Hey everyone, it's the morning of Tuesday, October 21st. I'm here at Lock 21 Campground in Wyanett, Illinois. First time here. 54 degrees and there's rain coming in for certain. So the rain fly I use for my bike's got to go on, and I'm going to wait it out here. I said it's about 8 a.m. By 10 a.m. till around noon, it's going to rain, so I'm going to wait that out. You may have noticed that I ended my video riding into camp here, my last video. Well, I was so exhausted that all I could do was barely make it into camp after a 60-some-mile ride, and it took all I had just to set camp up and get in and lay down. The reason being is I took that spill back in Geneseo on my bike, and I have injured my ribs on the left side. They're not broke, but they're bruised, and if anyone, most of you have probably experienced bruised ribs. They're no fun. And it's not something that gets better quickly, and it's usually worse the next day, which I knew it would be. Is it manageable? Yes, but I have to abort the trip to Oglesby today and then on to Buffalo Rock, because now I'm focused on managing my injury while I turn around and return home. Now, it was a mistake on my part to try and do that 60 miles after I was injured. Normally I can do 60 miles without a problem, but the trauma of that injury and fall, combined with a slight headwind, it was very difficult. Fortunately, going back on the way, I have a plan. I'm still going to be out all week, but I am going to only cycle 15 to 20 miles a day. And fortunately, there are places to camp, 3 or 4 in between here and home, so I'll be able to pull that off. The challenge is water. I was in Sheffield at the visitor center and the fountain was turned off, but I'm going to run by there today when I leave here to see if the visitor's office is open and I can get water there. I mean, I still have some left, a couple liters. Yeah, worst comes worst, I have my UVP pen that sterilizes water. I'll take it out of the canal and I'll use that, and then I'll boil it. But we'll do what we need to do to get home. I'm going to continue this adventure because I want to show the good and bad and the actual footage of a bikepacking adventure. Sometimes adventures turn bad. That could have been a lot worse, so I'm thankful. And I learned, if I would have had broken ribs, I would have had to call for help. But we'll get through this, and I don't know how much recording I'm going to do, but I'm going to try and change this to managing an injury on a bikepacking trip, because that's what I'm doing. Am I in constant pain? No, but you know how ribs go. When you move certain ways, you get that twinge, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to get this rain fly up. I didn't sleep well last night, which is to be expected with an injury. So after I get this rain fly up, we're going to wait out this rain before we take off today, probably around 1 p.m. Hopefully I can get a couple more hours sleep. That'd be great. Get something to eat, and I'm not going to, cover breakfast or none of that stuff. Like I said, the focus of the remainder of this trip is getting home and managing this injury. So we'll get there. I want to let everyone know that I am okay. If I felt that I couldn't do this, I would call for help. I have notified a couple of family members, my daughter and my brother, and they're ready to help if I say when. I don't think I'm going to need it. So we're going to get this done, and I'm going to bring you along so you can see the reality of bikepacking. We'll catch up with you later. Everybody, heading out day 2 from Lock 21, going to the state park. I called in advance. I can go in the office. They have water. They're open till 3:30. I got an hour and a half, so I got to get on there. It's only a half-hour ride, but I got to get on there and get some water. This trip not turned out the way I wanted, obviously, but when you're injured, you get hurt, you got to make decisions, and you got to make wise ones. So let's make the best of this. It's difficult with bruised ribs. Every time you bend over, twist, turn, there's a knife stabbing in your side. But it's tolerable. If it wasn't, I would have called for help. So I'll be fine. So see you at the state park. Even though I'm turning back, we can still enjoy the fall colors and have an experience together that is both useful and worthwhile. Aborting an epic trip is a disappointment, but everything is harder with an injury, and common sense dictates a return trip home. Keeping a good attitude and soldiering on through adversity makes us strong. There will be many more opportunities for the full experience in the near future. Here at the Visitor Center, and yes, we have water. Outdoor spigot, perfect, because I didn't want to have to go to the trouble locking my bike up to go inside and get it. I've been through that before. So I'll take these small victories when I can get them. The 5-mile ride wasn't bad. I had a tailwind, which helped a lot. The bumps didn't bother my ribs as much as I thought, but I have an ongoing issue that I'm going to have to fix. That anchor point keeps getting loose, and this bag drops down and rubs against the tire. I continually have to get off the bike and make adjustments. So now that I got water and got that burden off my mind to get me through the next day or two, I'm going to take a little time here to see if I can fix that. So then look for a campground. It's going to be either Anawan or Atkinson. So we'll see how it turns out. It's about 3 o'clock, so I like to get to the campsite. It gets dark early now, so I like to get to the campsite at least by 4:30 to have time to set up. So we'll check in with you later. Well, I'm officially done with the Oh No song. Wasn't working. You know what? I never did like it anyway because it's kind of copycat. I watched other bikepackers, the bigger ones. They all have little catchphrases and little songs. I was trying to ride that to some success, but it hasn't worked. So I think it's better off just being me. I'm really not one to just break out in song. You know, I'm kind of an introvert. Some people would argue with that, but they don't know me. The reason they say that is I'm more comfortable in conversation now because I'm more confident with myself. And it took all these years to get that because I was an alcoholic. Yeah, when I was drunk, I was real outgoing, but shoot, just blabbing drunk stuff. Sure, I was everyone's friend while I was buying drinks. But anyway, I'm feeling a little, excuse me, oh, that cough just killed my ribs. I'm feeling a little bit better about this. Of course, I'm disappointed because I had an epic trip planned, but you know what? Sometimes things don't go as planned. And accidents happen. Shoot. If I was a 20-year-old guy, I probably would have pushed on. But gotta know your limitations. And I learned from that 60-mile ride after the wreck against the headwind. Injured with that trauma, that was too much. I hope this video ends up being useful. Get a little tunnel action here. As in portraying, the real things that can happen when you're on these bikepacking adventures. And heck, I'm 63 years old now. I'm still learning lessons. But it is a very enjoyable day. I try to put the injury aside. It's beautiful. I actually have a tailwind today, and that's going to change tomorrow. So I'm going to either camp at Anawan or Atkinson. I should be getting to Anawan in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And we'll see. I'm starting to run out of daylight. It's dark at 6 now. It's past 3:30. But thanks for coming around along with me for this. It's more of a survival trip. Sure, it's not harsh, but it's hard to do this kind of stuff when you're injured. If anybody that has bruised ribs, it ain't no fun. So I'll check in with you at either Anawan or Atkinson. I'd like to make it to Atkinson, but I don't want to push it like yesterday. But Atkinson is a nicer campground. Anawan's by the road, a lot of road noises, too close to the interstate. Atkinson's, a lot of people fish there, but when they're done, not a soul is around it. Then I'll be closer to Geneseo, where I may or may not camp tomorrow, depending on how I feel. From Atkinson, if I feel okay, I might be able to bring it home from there, but I have to evaluate. Anyway, we'll catch you at the campground. Later.
Well, I made it here to Atkinson. A little further than I thought I would. The riding was pretty good today. About 25, 27 miles, which is much better than 60 with an injury. So this is about the tops that I should be doing. 30 is tops, I think. So I have camped here before. It's very nice, as you can see and will see. So I don't have much daylight left to pitch camp, so I'm going to get to it, but I'm doing okay. I really am. I'm feeling better about things, and maybe I'll make it home tomorrow. If not, I can stop in Geneseo. Catch with you later. I'm going to take a minute to talk about my tent, my sleeping system. Last night I was so beat, you know, I didn't have time or the desire to do any of this, but I have some really deluxe gear this trip. This is the One Tigress camping tent. It's a winter tent, as you can see. Just a little bit of mesh and mostly fabric, which means it's made for cold weather, and it is much warmer than my other tents. Much warmer. So let's go inside. So last night was the first time trying out my Zenbivy 10-degree quilt, down quilt. And I mean, this has a ton of loft, and is it comfortable? It's like a comforter. These are the pillows. I haven't blown these up yet. They're inflatables, which I'm not a huge fan of, but this one is the quilted pillow where I rest my head. It's thicker. And these are the regular pillows. What I do is I keep the inflatables very low in air so it doesn't feel like you're resting on a bubble. And it works, but a better idea would be to put some foam in these. They would be much more comfortable. But I haven't gotten around to that yet. Then of course you got to carry the foam. And these go down to nothing. They're flat when you deflate them. Plenty of room inside this tent. I haven't used it since last winter. Look at all this pocket space. You got a pocket in every corner and two long pockets. A lot of headroom. This is a two-person tent. You could fit two people in here. But I tell you, for one person, it's a palace with the extra room. So there you have it. I wanted to show you a little bit. And like I said, I'm feeling much better. The ride-in was okay. It wasn't bad. So we'll see what the night brings and what it's like tomorrow. Maybe check in with you in the tent. See ya. Hey Facebook friends and family, it's Steve. I'm here resting in my tent in Atkinson, Illinois. I'm just going to come clean and let you know that yesterday I had a crash. I laid my bike down in some gravel. I'm okay. I'm fine, but I had to abort my trip. So I made it the 60 miles to Wyanett, which was a mistake because that many miles injured. I felt terrible when I got there, but I'm fine today. I had to abort the trip because I have bruised ribs on the left-hand side. I would say mid-level, moderately bruised ribs. I've had them before. I'm sure you have too. They're no fun, but I've had worse ribs. Thank God they weren't severe ribs. And I lucked out. I only got one scrape on my leg and it didn't even draw blood. My gloves on my hand saved my hands from getting scraped, and I didn't know how bad it was, you know, until later. And this morning a little bit worse, but my ride here to Atkinson was pretty good, and I'm okay. I knew I did 27 miles, which is manageable. I wouldn't want to do much more than that when I'm hurt. So tomorrow, depending on conditions and stuff, I may have to stop and camp in Geneseo or I may go home. It depends on how I feel. So, and the wind, and there's a cold front coming through. So if I have a headwind, I'll probably stop. But I wanted everyone to know, let everyone know I'm okay. These things happen. It's a good thing I had my new helmet, even though I didn't hit my head, because if I did hit my head, it could have been bad. But yeah, I got sore ribs for sure. And as you know, they take a while to heal, but I'm fine, and I'll be home soon. Bummed out I had to abort the rest of the trip, but I have the sense to know there's no way that I could do it. I had to cancel my hotel room for tonight. I was supposed to be in Oglesby up by Starved Rock. Thank goodness I selected the option to where I could cancel all the way to the day of, so I'm not out, no money. So that's all right. It's a learning experience, and some trips are good, some trips aren't so good. That's what makes them an adventure. But I'm fine, and I'll catch up with you later.
Hey everyone, it's Wednesday, October 3rd, about 9 a.m. I'm ready to head home. It's a chilly day for sure. I have a brisk 15-mile-an-hour headwind to go. About 27 miles. I arranged for my sister to pick me up in Kelowna because I know being injured, that whole 40 miles against a headwind, not a good idea. I learned that on the way in. So she has a carrier on her SUV. My brother-in-law used it to take my other bike down to Galesburg to hop on the train, so that'll work out good, and hopefully I'll be there in a couple hours. And this has been an adventure for sure, in a way. Not as so much fun. Was it fun? No, it really wasn't that much fun. Was it valuable experience? Yes. Whenever you're injured, it's never fun. So, but it's good that that survival instinct kicks in. You know, that might sound dramatic, but what if I was somewhere remote where I couldn't get a hold of anybody? You need to learn those skills. So, bruised ribs and all, I'm ready to move on. Do I regret coming? No, I don't. I'm sorry that it didn't work out, but this is it. This is real life. This is what I wanted to capture for you to view, so you can see how it really is out here. Not those videos where everything's great and rainbows and unicorns all the time. That's not how life is. So like anything, if you're going to take on something like this, if you're earnest and passionate about it, there's going to be struggles and hills to climb, and there's going to be rewards. So it's the best of both worlds, and that's what makes life worth living. So until next time, this is Steve. Thank you very much for watching the videos and subscribing. Go ahead and make some comments and let me know if you have any questions or how you think the channel's going. I recently got monetized. I'm grateful of that, and I did that with your help. So we'll see you soon. Take care and love one another. Bye.